Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Hey, you made it.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry.
Where were you?
Hiding.
I'm coming, coming, I am coming. Ba-di-da-da, ba-di-da-da. Ba-ba, ba-di-da-da, ba-di-da-da. He's coming for you. He's hunting for blood.
1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. 3. Okay, I'll just clap.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't we just have one?
2, 1.
Okay, so before we get started with anything else, tell us a little bit about yourselves. We'll start with Michael and then move to Kirstin, yeah?
All right. Yeah, my name is Michael Tour. I'm a Canadian-based producer, DJ, located in Cambridge, Ontario. And
We went to school together
we did go to school
Yeah.
together too. Yeah,
for a long time.
for a long time.
It's pretty awesome.
We both made it. We didn't
Yeah.
drop out.
Yeah. And Kirstin, how about you?
So my name is Kirsten Corbett. I am from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. I am born and raised there and then moved down to Kitchener-Waterloo for school. And I've been writing music since I was a little girl.
Very cool. That actually brings us to the next question, which is, when did music kind of first become a major player in your life?
Yeah, I guess so. For me, actually, I started writing song lyrics, kind of like parodies to other songs. I almost kind of was like Weird Al Yankovic, but like the girl version. I would like always read lyrics to the songbooks I had, everything like that. So I was actually writing songs around 12 years old and performing. I performed my first original song in grade 6, and it was called Mistletoe, before Justin Bieber's Mistletoe came out, by the way.
And Better Than It, right?
Well, I thought so at the time.
Okay.
But then I started learning guitar in like grade 10. But yeah, I've been writing since I was about 12.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Michael?
I kind of bridged into music slowly over time. It started with instruments in school. As you know, we were in the
Definitely.
jazz band together.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't think there was an instrument you kind of left.
I started.
Like, really?
Then I went to drums, then guitar,
Yeah.
and piano, bass, all that stuff. And then got into DJing, and then got into production. And now I'm here, kind of. It's been a long process, but yeah.
What would you say music means to you guys? You want to take us first?
Music to me, it's like there's nothing that has the power music does to, like, when it's playing in one room and there's all these people there, it makes everyone feel the same thing all at once. There's like very few things that have that kind of power and effect. Like if you're at a giant stadium show, everybody's feeling the same thing at once and kind of unites people. And then the messages you can put in the music and help like change the direction of, progress for everything, right? And you can
100%.
you can use music for so many different things. It can be just like a silly, fun thing, or it can be something very meaningful. You can express yourself and define basically any emotion you want in music. And it's just a very powerful medium to do your art in, and I think it just speaks to me a lot.
Yeah, and I think
Because of
the versatility like you were mentioning is so important, because like you can literally reach billions of people
Yeah.
through a song.
Yeah.
And then, like you were saying about the unity, actually, I don't know if you've for sure seen this, but it was the Green Day concert where Bohemian Rhapsody came on, and the whole crowd is just singing along.
Yeah.
How else do you get that? You know what
Exactly.
I mean? Like, that's crazy.
It's pretty magical. And then too, it lasts through time like that. Bohemian Rhapsody is like
Yeah.
from the 70s, and then people are still singing it today,
Yeah, it transcends.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I love it. Kirsten?
Well, that's a really hard question to answer, but
Yeah.
I guess for me, music, nothing in the world makes sense, but music does. It just does. So for me, music is finding yourself. It's coming together with other people. It's just beautiful.
Is it something that you've kind of used to help navigate through life then?
Yeah, for sure. I guess I've always gone through different phases with music. So I've been into everything, like from pop music to rock music to punk music to jazz music. Like I'm always going through different phases. Like right now I'm really into EDM music. So
yeah,
it's interesting because it changes as you change, and no matter what time of life, what time in your life you're in, or what you're going through, there is a song that you can relate to, or music that makes you feel a certain way, and I just think that's amazing, and that's why I love music.
I think too, like each song can mean something so different to each person, right? Like a song can be your song that defines a relationship with someone, you know. To someone else it can mean something else entirely, and it's just, like you can define your own meaning for a song.
Great.
Okay, we're gonna do another clap, I guess. Ready? 3, 2, 1. No, one person. 3, 2, 1. The camera died.
If it did? Oh, I thought I did again. Oh my god.
The fear in your eyes.
Yeah, I was like, please, no, I just put that battery in. Okay. So, in terms of music, it's been in your lives for so long. Obviously, you two didn't work together from the beginning. So, individually, what do your music making processes look like?
For me, there's no real like set way a song can start. Like it could start as like a guitar riff or a piano riff, or like I could just be making a drum beat and I hear something, or you start with a sample, or a singer comes in and they have something to work with and start with. So there's like no set way for me. I find that works best. Though once I do start a song, I do like to get like a rough vocal down, build out kind of like the background music, and then have the singer sing on top of that, so that the feeling's already there, so they can sing along to the feeling. Cool. Though sometimes we have worked with just like this background drum track that's very simple, and then use that as the final vocal take, and then but I think starting with the background music first, and then adding in all the layers and the harmonies, and you can slowly start hearing each next part as you do each part, right?
And I think that's really cool too, because a lot of your music, like it's atmospheric, right? A lot of it is like just the environment of the music itself, and so you really get that the music plays such an important role as part of your production. That's super cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kirsten?
So I guess I write songs in a total different way. It's for me, it's all about like the experience I'm going through. I'm a very emotional person. If you know me, you know that I wear my heart on my sleeve. I really do. And it's a beautiful thing with music because I'm able to let my whole heart out. And so for me, when I write music, I'm usually in some kind of mood, in some kind of feeling. So when I wrote Hiding, I was in that a really emotional mindset when I wrote it, and I kind of like almost black out, and then I edit the words later. Like I'm not blacked out, but I mean like I think words, and then once I read it later, I'm like, okay, this makes sense, this doesn't, but I just go with it and I just sing. It just kind of comes out naturally. And then I also write in another way too, where if I have like an actual topic to go, like if you want me to write a song about why you love sweaters, then I could write a full song about why you love sweaters and have an idea. But usually I write with an emotion and let the words just kind of fall out, and then if it doesn't make sense, I tweak it later. And I usually also always sing and write words after I come up with sound. Like you're really good at creating the sound after. I kind of have to have the sound. I usually have sound there first before I write the lyrics. But I've done it both ways. I just naturally usually come up with a chord progression, get in the moment, feel it, and then verbal diarrhea until it's beautiful.
So something that I'm finding, or I'm hearing here, is that you guys kind of, like the feelings that you have guide you to the music, and then it kind of leads you to where you want to go. It's almost like intuition that you guys are having. And that's pretty cool. Have you always kind of had that intuition, or do you think like, has it gotten maybe stronger or more developed as time went on? Like how's that gone?
For me, I think it's getting stronger over time. As I kind of develop as an artist and producer and musician, it's just like slowly kind of building, and as I learn new kind of techniques, I feel like like that it all starts adding and making this large mass of different types of ideas that'll start coming through. Like for example, all the harmonies you're hearing, that comes from kind of my understanding of Queen's music. And like as I learn more about different genres and stuff like that, that's all going to come through. So it kind of builds over time, but it's been there from before.
And you even like over that time, you build speed into it too, because like your efficiency goes up at the tools.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
How about for you?
Yeah, for sure. I can see it in the way that I write. Like all these songs that I've brought to Michael so far, except for Crescendo, which we're gonna talk about later.
Yeah.
Another one we're working on. All of those ones, except for that one, they were all written in high school, and the verbiage, like my mindset was different then. Like the way I think about things has changed, so therefore the way I write things has changed. I have explored more genres. My mind is open to more sounds. It's just kind of like total different. It's a game changer, and it's quite beautiful. When I go back and edit the old music, I can see like where my mindset was, you know what I mean? And that's the other thing why I like working with Michael, because I'm very much in the moment, let it all out, and then he's really good at being like, okay, but this doesn't make sense when you said that, so you should have said it this way. And it's awesome because like he knows me well enough to know what I was feeling, but he knows how to make it said better.
Yeah.
Or like there'll be like a random word idea that I have, like when we talk about the dress. I remember I was thinking like, oh, the skins come undone will work
because I said dress like 3 times before. I was just
the dress comes undone.
My dress.
And then I'm like, how about the skins come undone? Because that kind of is like
unraveling who you are.
Exactly.
There's so many interpretations.
The dress has skin, like
that's super cool. I like that.
Or the dress is skin.
Yeah. Maybe that was it all along.
Yeah.
I'm a lizard person just shedding.
So, Kirstin, this song, you had actually written the lyrics for it. You said in high school, and there's a lot of emotions and feelings that led up to that. Would you be comfortable kind of exploring those with us, just letting us kind of get an idea of what you were going through at the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, looking back, it's kind of like a coming of age song, because hiding is really about hiding from all those internal fears that you're not quite yet ready to face. And in high school, you're preparing to go to university. You got to think about your life, where you're going to go, who you're going to be with, who you want to be. And sometimes you're just not ready for that. Like I wasn't ready for that change. I love my mom so much. I was scared to leave her and like move away from home. It was really hard being away from her. And, you know, so I think, that's how I feel.
Okay. So, Michael, one of the things when someone brings something this kind of gargantuan is you have to do justice to the song that the person has in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
It's kind of hard to define. Like it happens in stages, right? It's like if you get a big box of Lego and you just dumped all the pieces out all in one pile, it would be like, where do you start? You know, but if you have kind of an instruction book, you have steps, right? When you make music, there's no instruction book, but you can still break it into steps. You're like, okay, well, rather than getting overwhelmed by the whole kind of thing that needs to be built, or like making what I hear in my head come to reality, like, let's start with the drums first or something, or let's start with whatever's so prominent in my mind first, like the bass line or whatever. For hiding, it was the bass line. And then you kind of just build it from there. I feel like I kind of get sucked into the process of like making the song I'm working on, and it's almost like autopilot once I'm like working, and like I just go step by step, like what's next? It's this part. Oh, I hear something in the vocal, I'm gonna go that way, and I kind of like, and next thing you know, you take a step back and it's building itself. Kind of, it's almost like a song will build itself if you let it. You know, through you.
Like take on a life of its own kind of thing. Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's like the song already exists and I'm like listening for the next parts, and then it just kind of starts building itself through me. I feel like super cool. So I don't like try to think about it as like, oh, what am I gonna do? This is like a big thing or whatever beforehand. I just kind of like let it do its thing, and I find like the songs will just go in random directions and stuff. Like
You also challenged me too when I came here with the song. You were like, no, tell me exactly how you were feeling, what it was about, and you made me sing it like the way I intended to with the guitar, so you could hear not only any influence and thoughts that I had of where it should sound, but like where I was when I wrote it and what the original sound was, which I thought was interesting too, because most people just say, play the song, but he was like, no, what does this mean to you? And why does it matter? And when I told him it was a dream, like that ethereal sound that you hear, like he would have never known that if he hadn't asked me that. So I thought that was really cool.
And then that like fed into, like the dream, a dream state. Like it's like the chorus is a separate state. She's in the real world and then she's bouncing back and forth between the real world and like this dream realm. And like she can't distinguish between which one's which at times, and like elements from the dream realm cross in, and like then this picture starts forming in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I want the chorus to feel like she's going into a dream-like state. So I like asked her to make these long bars in the background that kind of drift up, and the song pitch changes, actually goes up slightly higher in pitch for the chorus only, and that like makes you feel like you're elevating into this thing, and then you drop back down, and then you elevate back into this dreamlike state and drop back down. So then little ideas like that will kind of pop up based on feedback from her, or like something that's happening in the song, or
And you can really feel that, like in the song. It almost feels like you're going on this journey where, like you were saying, it's like there's like this lift and then constant release and then lift, and it's you can feel that in the actual song itself. And so when we're talking about that, the music you make is almost like an environmental aspect to it. That's it. You actually bring the ambiance into the experience, and that's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about like trying to reflect, like being really intentional about what's happening. Like you don't just throw words together. You have to be intentional. What am I trying to say here? What is the artist trying to say? What are they singing? Then they have to act out those words and convey the emotion, and then the music should match that, that energy. Like when she in the middle kind of faces that darkness finally, all the instruments strip back and there's these harmonies, and you feel this euphoria of her kind of going through that experience now. And like it's just trying to mirror the words, and all about intentionally showing what's the meaning behind what's going on at that specific moment in the song. And
I think you guys did like an amazing job with this track on that, because you can really not even like it's the music, it's the lyricism, it's the way it's performed, like all of it kind of comes together in this culmination to make something that it feels relatable too, because like even if the lyrics get abstract, but you can still connect with them on so many different levels, and that's beautiful. You guys did such a great job with that. Thanks. So that's one thing I think, especially when I listen to music, I think that connecting to people plays such a big part of that, and you guys did such a great job of that. So I just wanted to say, fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do feel that the kind of message in the song is so universal. Like a lot of young people, specifically nowadays, kind of feel that kind of jaded feeling with the world, and kind of like there's so much in their mind that they're trying to think through. There's so many possibilities because of the time we're in right now, but that also creates so much lack of direction, and there's lots of positive things, but they can all be flipped into negative if you let your mind go there. And
life is all about perspective.
So it's like learning to kind of master your mind. And
exactly.
That's kind of this idea of facing the darkness and finding the light on the other side and resolving it. And that was kind of I feel like a message that will apply to a lot of people, and it takes them on this kind of journey through all these metaphors that kind of reflect those things, so the listener can kind of, rather than saying outright like this and this and this, it's like metaphorical, so people can hear the words and make their own version, rather than being told this is what's happening kind of thing. So it's I think it's like really applicable to a lot of people's lives.
And that's the beauty of music, and that's what you were saying earlier, is that it's not just about who made it, it's about who's listening. Right? Because what you get might be a completely different song than from someone else who might have heard it and had a completely different understanding of it.
Exactly.
And you guys did a great job in that. There's a lot of versatility in that song, and I think it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And to the point of also making things and making decisions with all this deeper meaning and stuff, that is a large part of it. And then there's also kind of accidental things, like I had looped the bass line all through the song for the recording and stuff, and the drum beat, and then I had looped the drum beat only up to a certain point, and the bass line kept going. And like at the end of our recording session, it was just playing, and Kirstin's like, "Oh, I love that. I like how the bass line just keeps going when everything else stopped." And that's a complete accidental thing that we're like, "Oh yeah, we'll keep that in there. The bass line will kind of play out one full time."
And how'd you do the beginning with the no as well? Wasn't
Which
that
one?
an outtake of me saying like no, like I didn't
Yeah,
want it?
so
Yeah.
she's like,
I was saying like no, like redo it, and he took it and made it like that.
So yeah,
Oh,
she's
that's
talking
cool.
about the video edit of the song.
Yeah.
In the video edit, which isn't the one that's released, you can hear her going like no, and there's like this monster sound, which that
We could
also
show you after. Yeah.
that also
sure, yeah.
the way I made that monster sound was actually also like accidental as well. So,
Yeah.
but then there's like this
Beautiful
orchestra
accidents.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
what music's
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, well, sometimes mistakes make music, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is, and sometimes mistakes are music, and I love that you guys took that and like just ran with it. That's
Yeah.
super cool. Yeah,
Or what you think is a mistake can be a beautiful thing.
right.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
It
beautiful.
just adds this new element to it, right?
Yeah.
And then listeners can hear that and be like, "Oh, there's so much deep meaning behind this thing that they did here," and you're like,
Yeah.
"No, that was actually a mistake."
Yeah.
But you can think whatever you want. It's your song once we release it.
You guys actually touched on something really interesting, which is that you guys made your own video and album artwork for this song.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Because we made kind of part of the intro coming in here, but like you guys did that on your own before anything even happened. Like it was such a cool experience to see people make their own album artwork.
Mm-hmm.
How did that feel? Because it's almost like another avenue of your creativity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll start off and then I'll pass it off to you
Sure,
about
yeah.
the actual art. But the concept came to me as the dream that I had. I was being chased by an unknown figure, like monster thing, through a dark forest. So I really wanted that forest element to be there. And so I went with my fiance out into the forest and we took the photos. It was Michael's idea actually to have my dress be torn because I say my dress is tearing up in the song. So it worked out really cool with the shots, and I only got enough video footage for the 8-second like clip that replays for the Spotify, but I'd like to take that concept with more time and money and make a full music video to this song with that concept. But yeah, I gave him the video and the pictures, and then he turned it into the cover art that you guys see today.
So Kirstin had taken the videos and kind of made promos that we put on Instagram and places like that, and made like a real thing that's in Spotify behind the lyrics with the videos. And she had made an early version of the cover art, and I had a separate idea that I wanted to run by her, so I just made that. Basically what I did is I took the photo that she had used for her version of the cover art, and I took another photo which was like nighttime and she's running, so I kind of thought of one as like the daytime real world situation, another one as the dream state, kind of running away from the evil monster thing, and I kind of wanted to show that there's like an indistinguishable boundary between the two worlds in her mind, so I kind of morphed the two photos together so you can't really tell what's going on, and in doing so at the same time formed the letters HIDING. That's how you spell hiding. And I made the letters
No.
no, it's right. I know.
You spell checked before you released the song.
I did
I'm sure.
spell check hiding, yeah. It's a difficult word. And then I made the letters literally hide, so they're like, it's this big jumbled mess almost that you need to listen to the song first and then kind of see the song's title to kind of visually put together what's going on. It's meant to be confusing like that.
So without it, the word hiding, why'd you stop there? So that's actually kind of cool then, because the song's called Hiding, and you can actually see the name in the album artwork unless you listen to the song.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can see it if someone tells you, or like you might be able to read it still. I just know when I showed a few people the concept, they were like, I don't, like, what does it say?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But some people did know, but they also heard the song before. So, I don't know. Like, it's meant to be visually confusing and
That's beautiful.
and kind of meld the two photos together in a way that accomplishes a lot of things at once.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, what do you think? I sent it to her, and she's like, I love it. And then we just went with that one. And it was literally, I like made it the day before we were going to release it too. So I like uploaded it for release. So
Oh yeah, that's
kind of last minute thing. Yeah, last minute inspiration.
cool. So it sounds like everything went super well, but were there any challenges that came up during the production process?
I don't really think so, other than your typical like, oh, my car, like I borrow my fiance's car because my car broke down, and like trying to coordinate two adult schedules to get together and do this. But music's a priority for me, and it's a priority for him, so we made it work. Every Tuesday we got together, no matter what was going on. And I mean, like, we gave each other days, weeks if we needed it, but like sometimes I'd be like, I just can't do it, and he'd be like, no, let's do it, you can do it, and then give me the encouragement, and vice versa, which I think is really cool. I've never worked with someone like that for this long, and so it's been a really cool experience, kind of like helping each other stick to it, because we're always going to be inspired, but life just goes by so fast, and human life, like, things go on. You have a job, you have things to do, so it's really important to prioritize things that make you happy, like music.
Yeah. So here's a fun little moment for a fun question. How many bars are there in Hiding?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Game, we quit.
It's okay. We give up. Okay, you have to guess. There's no counting. You have to guess.
I have no idea.
How many bars in Hiding?
I'm gonna go with 21.
21. Okay.
Did you actually figure this
I
out?
counted.
14.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna say 14.
Okay.
Change my mind.
Are you
Wait.
counting the harmonies that go?
I'm counting every single bar.
Oh God.
Every single
Okay.
bar.
Oh, that changes things.
I would
Oh,
say
I don't know.
56
56.
buzz.
Okay, that's a lot of buzz. I'll be honest with you.
Is that too many?
It might be way too many.
Okay, I think
I just heard it
I
so
think
many
14.
times
I think
that-
14. Final answer 14.
14.
No, 21.
Okay, we'll go
Final answer,
with closest answer wins.
Yeah.
All right. The answer is 19.
Really? There's
Yeah,
only
it's
19? No
19.
way.
I actually did. I checked.
You
Like,
checked?
Yeah. I control F. And
Yeah.
then press the bar and then just search.
Yeah, but that doesn't have the harmony ones in there. It's
No, it
not
does.
the lyrics.
The lyrics don't have the harmony in it?
No.
Oh, why do you not have the harmony in there?
And
So
They're all separate
technically he's
voices.
right.
Probably closer, yeah.
Yeah.
all the voices are separate. There's like 3 parts to the vocal harmony, sometimes 4. So
Oh,
there's
that
like
doesn't count.
layers.
It's gotta be the
4
main
different
voice.
voices
Come
saying
on.
Yeah, he made me do it in all the different.
That's 16 each time right there.
There's actually like 100
Ba-
bars in this
yeah,
song.
there's
Yeah.
actually a
Yeah,
lot
you made
more.
me do it in weird, like
Yeah.
low.
There's different layers of
Yeah, I was
buzz.
getting so annoyed of it.
I
I
have
felt
the
like a
inside
sheep.
information here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I win.
And I hate when I wrote that in high school. I was worried it was stupid because I was like, "Budina," and I was like, "No, it's actually really cool. I love that we went with it, and it really shows that like mix between like not even knowing what's reality and what's not, and being so wrapped up in your own emotions and how you feel about
Yeah.
like things changing and what you're scared of. That it's like, let's just think through it. Like everything's gonna be fine." And yeah, I don't know. I have that kind of vibe coming up again in another song I wrote in high school. I wrote these songs very close together actually,
Yeah.
that has a similar vocal melody in the beginning called Bones, which I'm really excited to have brought to Michael. So yeah, there's gonna be more of that, not the but there's gonna be more of the cool like vocal
Hooks,
melodies.
almost.
Yeah.
Might be da.
Da dee da da. Okay.
No, not da dee da da.
Oh, okay.
That might be involved.
Are we getting an insider scoop right now? You guys heard it here first. This is crazy. Okay.
The creativity just never ends.
Yeah,
da,
yeah.
and then there's da. And then,
yeah. So what would you guys say is like, if you're ever kind of finding like either like writer's block or producer's block, I guess, what's something that's like a go-to maybe inspiration that you use to kind of bring yourself out of that?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh,
dying.
inspiration.
Yes.
God, okay. You can ask that again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I
No
just couldn't
worries.
stop
How
laughing.
do you deal with writer's block?
yeah.
you know what? The best advice I can give any songwriter in the world right now who is struggling, or a musician who is struggling with writer's block, do it tomorrow. Take a break. Take a step back. You would be surprised what you can do when you look at what you've done the previous day from a whole new lens and just jump back into where you were with a healthier mindset. Because if you're frustrated already, it's going to come in sometimes I write when I'm frustrated and it comes out in the lyrics and in the sound and it actually works. But if you're getting to that point where you're like, you know what, I can't figure this out, you can. But like, I don't know, did anyone figure anything out right away? Did Einstein figure things out right away? No. So you just gotta kind of do it one day at a time and be okay with delayed gratitude and the idea that good things can come when you put the effort in and do things a little bit by bit, because that's what it's all about, which I learned after hiding, because hiding is the opposite of that. Hiding is hiding from those fears, not having any idea, like being in that paranoia state where you don't know to just take the step back. But with songwriting, it's really important that you do that, because sometimes you can get overwhelmed. Or you can write a kick-ass song by being in the moment. Like, I've written songs in 20 minutes. I've written songs in 20 minutes just from being in a state of whatever I'm in.
Yeah, it's like almost like creative overload at that point. Yeah, and I think I like what you're saying there, because there's a line in Hamilton, actually, and the line is, "You can't put a fire out from inside the house." Now, this quote comes from other places I just don't remember, and I've only heard it in Hamilton, but that's exactly kind of what you're saying, is that you need to take a step out. Well, it's the traditional line is, "You can't put a fire out from inside the house," or like some sort of quote. I'm sure you can.
I like that. Sorry,
like,
I'm just being an asshole.
It's okay. It's totally fine. It's fun.
You can actually buy fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
In
I was
Home
like, I'm
Depot.
pretty
Keep
sure.
it in your
All right.
kitchen.
All right.
Pretty sure most house fires are
Not a
put
good
out.
line. Very illogical.
There's been a rampage of house fires recently. Yeah.
Oh, God.
This is a dated lyric.
Yeah. Well, how about you? What do you find? Where do you look
Just delete that
for
whole
inspiration?
idea.
Well, no, because
Idea stomped out. Bad logic.
Sorry.
I'm sure it was profound at its time.
It was at its time. But how about yourself? Where do you look for inspiration when you're finding kind of a bit of a stop?
So if I have a big job coming up in a song I'm working on, I keep a checklist kind of things as ideas pop up. Like, they're coming all the time, like, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, there's like this weird sound here, or I need something that does this and this part. And I'll keep a checklist of stuff going while I'm working on like one part of it. So then I have a checklist where there's certain items that are like daunting or complex, or that kind of might make you feel like, oh, how am I going to come up with that part?
Yeah.
So if that's coming up the next day, or it's coming up now and there's nothing there yet, I do have all these other items that are like more rote kind of things, like, I need to go and I need to fix this, or like put automations in on this thing here, and I'll just do that, and then my kind of mood kind of settles back down, and then I'll jump to the next thing on the list. And then kind of once you're sucked into it, for me, I find that helps a lot. And then even if I don't feel ready for that part that I was kind of, shying away from or not feeling ready for yet, I'm still getting a lot of things done. And then maybe I'll move it to the next day or something, or I'll go in a completely different direction. Like, I find for my projects, they span over a very long period of time. I work on them over a long period. I don't do it all out in one go yet. That's not how I've been working so far. But so yeah, I'll focus on certain parts one day, and like if I can't do what I was planning on doing, there's still tons of things to work on. And yeah, I think breaking things into steps and really writing out what you need to get done can help. Otherwise,
make it digestible almost.
Yeah, otherwise it's in your mind, I have all these things I need to do and I can't even figure out this thing. And then it helps to write and to journal and to like put out all the craziness in your mind out on paper, so then it's cleared out of here. I don't have to forget it because it's over there if I need to look at it, but now I'm going to focus, and I'm not ready for this part. Okay, well, what's something I could do right now? And then take steps forward like that. I find for me that helps.
Yeah, that's super cool, and almost like you're kind of doing in a way what Kirstin was kind of alluding to as well, because when something seems to come to a stop, you're able to find the next thing that you can kind of work on and take a break from that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there is another good point too that I'll bounce versions of the songs I'm working on, so that when I'm cooking or I'm doing something outside of the studio, I just have it on repeat, and I'll just, while I'm not thinking about it, I'll hear the next part come in over top, like, oh, I could do that there, or I could do this here, or like, you know, it's like less of a like I have to figure this out sort of thing, and
Yeah.
you know.
Very cool. Yeah. So a lot of like kind of retackling from different angles. So
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. So what is your go-to karaoke song?
You all know, and it's quite embarrassing.
Well, they don't know.
Every time I've done karaoke, whether it be, you know, like at a karaoke bar or wherever, I always do Rocky Raccoon by the Beatles. And
It's a good
when
song.
we were
It is.
together, and in the last video, Nav was like, oh yeah, she was so good at karaoke. Yes, I was good. But he did not mention that I got booed because you don't, hey, I thought we were up to play sooner. Like I asked to be put up around like 11, but I didn't get on till like 1 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. You don't play Rocky Raccoon at 1:30 a.m. with a bunch of college kids without getting made fun of. But you know what? I thought it was awesome. A couple people thought it was awesome.
It was
Yeah.
good.
And I don't think you can ever really say I've been booed at a karaoke. And it wasn't because I didn't sing it good, by the way. It was because nobody
Wasn't
liked.
appropriate.
I was like, dun 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 dun, come on, rocky boy, and everyone's like, what the f is this girl doing right now? Like, whatever. I'm cool.
Yeah. No.
The cool people thought I was cool. A couple people were like,
We knew.
Beatles, yeah.
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 Exactly.
What's
How about
yours?
you? Yeah.
One that I do a lot is Yesterday by the Beatles.
Yeah.
What?
I do like,
No,
Yeah.
connected.
but I like Queen a lot as well, so I do some Queen songs, or like Green Day is a good
Ed
one.
Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran,
Ed Sheeran,
perfect.
yeah.
That's a good one. That actually gets people to put their phones
Yeah,
out like
yeah,
lighter,
yeah,
so that's
yeah.
cool.
That's
the exact opposite experience of hers.
Oh god, people
follow
are about
that.
to throw tomatoes at me. I felt it, and I've been on. I love being on stage. I've done musical theater. I perform a lot locally, and so like I know how to please a crowd, and that is not how you please a crowd. But
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
okay. I was like committed. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep the song. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, you just gotta go for it. It doesn't matter what other people think. Who cares?
Yeah.
Use it for inspiration. Now we're gonna add booze to a song.
Yeah.
Boo, boo. You know,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool. I like-
that
there you
is
go.
good.
Another perfect, like, happy accident almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
We
love
should do
that.
a cover to Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah. Put booze in the back.
Yeah, that would be
That's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
you
your
go.
go-to karaoke song?
Oh, it's starting to become Imagine Dragons, I think.
Yeah.
Really?
Slowly
Which
but
ones?
surely. Yeah. Bones is definitely up there.
Nice.
Wrecked is up there. That's one of the more sad ones though, so I don't usually go for that first. Maybe that's like later, but you know, it's Imagine Dragons seem to be like my go-to as of late.
They're pretty good.
They are.
Yeah.
They're impressive.
We gotta go to karaoke again.
I am
sometime.
down. Yeah, I'm definitely down. Why not?
I'm scared.
Don't be scared. It was fine.
Traumatized.
It was just a bad group. It was fine. You'll be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. It's
I didn't
not
even
fun.
hear the booing. To be
I
honest.
honestly didn't know there was booing until you said that.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah. She still hears
It was the monster.
I still hear it.
It was the monster.
That's what this song is about.
It's the monster.
You know what you've done, whoever it was.
Yeah, it was actually
God.
that you were hiding from them. Oh no.
Yeah. It was awesome though. I still had a great time. It was
Yeah.
how we all met.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I already
Well,
knew you.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys. knew each other.
I already knew you, and I knew you.
Yeah,
You met.
I knew him first. If it's not a competition,
He's
but if it was, if you guys could collaborate with any artist on the planet, who would it be and why?
Dead or alive?
Ooh, we'll say anybody, dead
on the
or
planet or
alive.
in the planet.
Even in space, we'll say. If you want to cooperate with a telescope, I don't know if that's a thing that could happen.
Hey, he's got a really cool telescope.
Yeah, I know. He's
actually.
shown.
Yeah.
It's awesome to look through. Yeah,
David Bowie.
David Bowie, and why? What makes David Bowie kind of the go-to?
Well, I knew I liked boys when I watched The Labyrinth and he came out in those like tight leather pants, but like he was all like beautiful at the same time and he started singing, and I don't know if you guys seen The Labyrinth, but I just fell in love with David Bowie as a person. And then I don't know, I learned I forget which song we learned, Space Oddity I think it was, we learned in guitar class. and I just fell in love with him even more, and then started collecting his vinyl. I remember crying my eyes out. My fiance called me and was like, "What are you doing?" When he passed away, when David Bowie passed, I remember clearly. I was in my dorm room in my residence, and I had his record player, and I was just crying, and he had to like make sure I was okay because I was so devastated. I was convinced I would one day be on stage with that man. His stage performances, the way, have you ever seen him perform live?
I don't think I have.
It's a full production. Take the time to watch one of his live performances.
Absolutely.
It's like literal theater. It's like musical theater and music, and that's what I've always wanted to do, even before I knew he did that. And so it's just like even more of like I want to know him. And maybe there's technology to do that in the future. You never know.
You never know.
Or an AI version of him or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Michael, how about you? Who's someone that you would love to collaborate with?
Well, since I'm really focused on producing stuff right now, the producer kind of knowledge pursuits, one producer I really like and have a lot of respect for is Kashmir. You know, Kashmir, yeah. I think he's just really talented, and I like the way he does things, and he really knows a lot about the art of production. And not only that, but he also gives back to the community a lot. Like, I've learned a lot from his videos as well. So I think down the line in my producer journey, it would be really cool if we ever like met and worked on something together.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be cool. Or, you know, if
That'd
he's
be really
moved by one of my songs, it's like, that's cool. It's kind of gone full circle then.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Seeing like recognition from someone that you look up to is like a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be the same thing as like if David Bowie was like, "Oh, I love this girl's voice." It'd be.
He said that about, so when he was still around, I remember Lorde, you know, the girl who sings Royals, she came out, and I'm pretty sure it was her who he said, like, this girl is legendary, like, gonna be the next big star, and to have an idol like that say something like that to you would just be so incredible.
I think the other thing that a lot of artists kind of struggle with is that when you kind of have settled into a sound, right, a lot of people expect that sound from you. And so if you try to evolve, you try to kind of change and break out of that sound, a lot of people kind of think, oh, they don't like it, they don't appreciate it, or they don't want to see that because they fell in love with that original sound. Has that ever been like a fear or something that's kind of settled in your mind where it's like, oh, I got to kind of find my lane and stay in that lane? Or are you just kind of exploring everything? Like, how's that?
I think if you hear any of my productions, every song's so different. Like, I don't have a sound. Like, each song goes in its own direction. For me personally, they're already so different from each other. Even the three we're working on, like Hiding's out now, but there's also Crescendo, which is completely different, and then this new one, Bones, that we're doing, which is also completely different. And like, yeah, I would rather have people expect me to be different each time rather than kind of have a sound and try to stick to that. But then they're expecting me to be different, so if I do find a sound, then I'm kind of stuck.
How about you?
Sorry, can you rephrase the question again?
So in terms of like your music, a lot of artists are kind of a little bit nervous about either finding a lane because then you're expected to stay in that lane. How does that play a role into kind of your production?
I think for me, I think versatility is key, but it also is important for me as a vocalist to maintain a certain kind of integrity of my sound and my voice. Because, for example, you hear Taylor Swift, you're like, that's Taylor Swift. You hear anyone else, you're like, oh, that's them. And so I want my voice to be so indistinguishably me and my own that if I'm doing country, you know it's me. You'll know it's me. If I'm doing pop, if I'm doing pop music, you know it's me. If I'm doing rock music, you know it's me. So being able to have the ability and kind of open mindset to explore other genres is very important as a musician. It's super important to be open to exploring other genres, but it's also extremely important to stay true to who you are and your sound. Like, I've actually been listening to country a lot, and I used to sing country songs in high school and stuff, and like, I don't know, it definitely fits with my range. So you never know, maybe I'll put out a country album one day. Like, I'm so open to that, but it I do fear I get locked into a sound.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do fear that, because what if, like the next one, maybe Crescendo pops off and then everyone loves that kind of like heartbeat, like let's go, like kind of sound. You guys are gonna love it.
I'm excited.
Or people might like, Bones a little slower or whatever, I don't know.
I'm excited for everything that's coming. And speaking of things that are coming, what are you guys working on right now? What are some things that you're kind of looking forward to getting out there?
So there is the Crescendo song that we're working on now.
Yeah, we wrote that one. Well, it all started because normally what I have done in the past with other producers and with Michael is I would just give him my entire song fully written and being like, okay, here's how it sounds. And then from there we edit the sound and the lyrics or whatever. But with Crescendo, I was just like playing on the piano and was like, I like these two notes, and and I wrote I think the verse and the hook of, like, I wrote the lyrics for the main part.
Yeah.
And then he was like, let's do it with this sound. And then by the time he had come up with the sound, I came back with other lyrics, and then he came back with lyrics, and we just built the song together. So it's, I think, going to be really cool because it's the first time I've written anything positive, and it's the first time that we've ever written something together. Yeah. Where we've really put 50-50. I mean, me, nothing towards the music production, but I did give him like, oh, I'm inspired by these sounds and things like that, which kind of drove that.
Yeah.
I think it was interesting for me too, because I kind of learned to be more open to doing things a little differently as well, because she had come in and she's like, I made something, and I was like, okay, well, working on hiding, and I got ideas for that, and we got a lot to do, so let's focus on that. She's like, do you want to hear it? And I was like, honestly, like, can we just work on hiding? Like, this is like almost there, so let's do that, and you can show me after we're done or something. I don't want it to like kind of superimpede into my mindset, and like now I'm hearing ideas for that, like this was, and she's like, please. So then I was like, okay, fine, and she just shows me this ding ding.
And then fucking loved it.
Yeah, and then she's like,
you did. You really did.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, but then and then I was like, okay, let's go back to hiding. No. Like,
and then I was like, wait a second.
like,
yeah, and then I was like, hold on, okay, you want to sing through it? And then she had the two chords at the beginning that like alternate back and forth, and then I sat down and was playing that, and then like I came up with all the chords for the other parts while she's singing it all in one take, and we have the video in the like song folder where I started playing stuff, and she just keeps going, and like she didn't even have like the second verse memorized and stuff, so she's just singing random words and stuff
that's cool.
to me playing through it, and like we got these chords for this like kind of the hook part, and then there's also different chords for this like build part, and then that kind of just like flowed out, and we just like did that, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, and then we just worked on hiding.
Let's give them a sneak peek before we switch gears. You want to show them a little bit of that?
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, I'm down.
So you haven't heard any of this yet?
Not yet. Well, we heard that like ding, but that's
like I showed him a little at the beginning earlier as a teaser that we might show him the song later. But he hasn't heard this yet. We're gonna show. But I
am excited.
We're gonna show you just the intro chunk, kind of leading up to it. Maybe I'll go into the middle a bit where you can hear some of the stuff there.
So we're getting a sneak peek. Ooh, synth vibes. Okay. I love the sound of this melody.
Cut it out right before I sing. Wow.
The verse one is missing a bunch of stuff right now, but I'll come in here. So that you can hear a little bit more of it.
Sacramento, are you confused by what I say? It's just a glimpse, though. Go on with your unconscious allegations while I reach my crescendo. Watch me reach my crescendo. Won't be late, it's so detrimental.
sounds amazing. I love the synth, like it almost feels like 70s.
That's what I wanted with this one. That's why I wrote it on the piano, and I was like, I'm picturing us. I was like, synth has to be the main sound, and he was like, got it. And then he literally was like, came up with everything, because all I did was with 2 piano keys, like dun 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 dun, and then he made it like that ticking, kind of persisting sound that you hear throughout the song, which I love.
So in terms of your music as a whole, where do you guys see yourselves in the future, either as a collaboration or apart, like just on your own in terms of your own careers? Where do you guys see yourselves going, like, let's say, the next 10 years? Or 5? We'll go with 5. 10 might be too much.
In 5 years, I see myself with hopefully, definitely another handful of singles, but maybe I would like to put an album together, collecting some of the singles I've done, as well as I'd like to do a lot more live shows. I've performed locally all the time, but however, with my new sound and the direction I'm going in and feedback I've gotten from people in the industry, I actually got to chat with Rob Blasco, who does bass for Ozzy, and he used to do it for Rob Zombie. But anyways, I got to speak with him, and he told me, great voice, great songwriting, you need a band.
Oh, okay.
So that's the next step. Who wants to join my band?
We'll put the audition link in the description.
Yeah,
below.
for sure. No, definitely. I want to do something different and fun. But having a band is how you do that. Like, it's easier to make yourself sound more full in production, and I do a great job with the acoustic coffee house vibe, but it's just not where I picture myself in 5 years. I picture myself with a full ensemble. I mean, if you're saying 10 years, then the full stage, David Bowie, like actors, people flying in, people on fire.
Oh, wow.
Not people on fire. I mean, no. I mean, like, things on fire. Things on fire, not people on fire. Well, people could be on fire, but they're safe, like how Rammstein does it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I thought it in my head.
I may not be coming to any concerts anymore, but I do feel you.
But the whole, like, bigger sound, bigger production. I'm definitely going to be starting some merch. I want to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. And what kind of merch are you thinking about?
I've been, like, thinking about a lot of different ideas. I think it would be really cool to do, like, a 45 B-side kind of print press of, like, 2 singles or something, and, like, sell the little physical vinyls, because everyone really loves physical copies of music. It's coming back. I'm so happy I kept my vinyl. What about you?
I just want to keep getting better at production and just expand my knowledge with production, get better at production, branch more into like electronic stuff, house type of thing. Like that's my like aim, is to like kind of move into very electronic type sounds, house, you know, stuff like that, EDM, and learn that side of things, and then also just like make more crazy creative art.
So something that you kind of touched on, and I think it's really important, was therapy, and just how even I think music can act as therapy. It's not exactly the same, and it's not interchangeable with real therapy, but it definitely has its place in helping you kind of move through your emotions and understand yourself and kind of get a better idea of kind of what's going on in your own mind. How has music affected your ability to kind of manage yourself?
That's a really good question. I think music affects me in the sense of when I don't have it, when I don't play, I am not myself. And there was like a good almost a year where I just gave up.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't give up. I still played like a show here or there, or but I wasn't writing new music, and I wasn't actively working towards doing anything with it. I kind of had high expectations for myself and thought that I had to have everything done perfectly the way I saw it, and I would only be able to do that if I had more money and more time and a better mindset. And I didn't really clue in that you can't get there without walking there. Like, you can't just teleport and be there. You have to take those steps every day to work towards those goals. I think you said a really cool quote once about goals are just...
what was that? Goals without deadlines are just dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I forget where I heard that, but it was pretty good.
Wow, I like that a lot. That's actually really that gives you drive. Holy smokes. Yeah, wow.
Set some deadlines.
yeah. Wow, and that's pretty accurate when you think about it. I never actually thought about that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that quote before.
Pretty good.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess to go back to the whole therapy aspect, it's like anytime I ever play music or write a song like this, it's usually in itself writing that song as a form of therapy. I'm coming out with the ideas, like they're just kind of falling out of me, and the experience is coming out through the music. Like sometimes I'll just put my phone on record and just strum my guitar and start singing, and I am usually surprised because when you just naturally let yourself kind of freestyle, you can come up with some pretty cool ideas, and then you feel like you've just had an hour therapy session, or you've just gone for a mile run because you feel so cleansed and so at peace with yourself and what you've done. And that, I miss that. Like, I'm still struggling to get back to that point. I used to write almost every day and challenge myself to write every day, and now it's few and far between because work, life, everything. But learning how to balance all that through therapy, I now see an online therapist, has been immensely helpful. And now I, like I said, just was like, come up to him with, hey, let's do Crescendo and things like that. Just being more eager and more into it in the past year, like working with you, has really been awesome. Just getting that motivator and validation from my fans and family and friends, just saying like, you know what, you deserve to do this.
That's awesome.
Because for a while I was like, you almost feel like you don't deserve it, or I'm not good enough, or there's so many other musicians out there, why would mine even matter? And as soon as I shut that off and was like, I'm just gonna make music for me and hope that at least one person can connect to that sound. If I go somewhere, great. If not, I can still show my friends this awesome song that I spent time and money into producing, and so that's just shifting your mindset has changed everything, and I've gotten more success by doing that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for opening up about that too. I appreciate that. How about you, Michael?
Just on that point that she said about shifting your mindset, one thing that I found is really helpful to do that, to kind of shift from less of a lack mindset to more of a gratitude mindset of like focusing on the things that are right. Like, I feel like a lot of people nowadays struggle with this. I have in the past a lot more. I'm getting better with it now, where maybe 10 things happen, 9 of them are good and 1 is bad.
Yeah.
Or 1, it's you like, it's something that you wouldn't have wanted to happen, or it's like not optimal. And then we focus on that one thing and just don't even see the 9 good things, and then the next day happens and it's the same thing again. 9 good things, 1 bad thing, and you start creating this picture for yourself that life is this narrow thing that's like not good. Like, it's another day that was bad, another day that was bad. Like, if we forget to focus on the things that were good about the day or that went well, if you tell a joke or something and 9 people laugh and 1 didn't, do you focus on the fact that 9 people laughed? Like, I don't know, that person could be having a bad day, maybe they just don't think I'm funny. Like, it could be anything. Why am I focused on the one person not laughing and not, that mindset shift to the gratitude thing is a really big piece, I think. And it can be hard to just switch. Like, you don't just switch all of a sudden. Now I'm just going to think differently. Life's better, right? You can create like practices that help with that. Like, one thing I do is at the end of every day, I just go to sleep listing off things from that day. Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Just list things like, I love my cat. Like, my lunch was great. Like, just whatever comes to mind, things to be grateful for every day before I go to sleep.
think about, oh my god, I have this to do tomorrow, I have this to do.
Yeah, switch to this, and like, it helps because like, it doesn't seem like much at first.
Really?
Like, I'm just gonna say 5 things I like about myself or like about life that's going to change things, but it really does.
100%.
You start realizing things too, like, oh wow, there's like all this stuff I can pick from that is good, and like, yeah.
It's actually funny, when I started doing it, I found it difficult, or more difficult to do. Like, it was like I had to really, it's not that it was like I don't have things that I'm grateful for, but I was kind of in the mindset of like viewing things from a negative perspective, right? And so it was hard for me to shift. And then slowly over time, now that I've been doing it so much, and kind of as my mind perspective started to also shift with me, it's like it's become so much easier. And like now, instead of naming 5, sometimes I'll name like 15 just because I've got time. You know? Like,
it started off for me as like just like I'm gonna list 3 things or 5 things.
Exactly.
And now it's just I'm just gonna keep listing things till I fall asleep. And like what a great way to fall asleep. Just being grateful for everything.
There's like a Saturday Night Live skit or something that's like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me.
Exactly.
Like that. And he's like looking in the mirror. I think. And
you can carry forward this mindset into your life as you go about. This is like a TED Talk now.
No, it's beautiful. This is it.
Like, say you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off. Like, a lot of people will focus on that all day long.
I'm gonna get out of that car and I'm gonna. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
But like,
no, I would just cry. And
do you ever drive around and just look off into the distance and say, like, I didn't have to put any of that there. Look at all those trees, the buildings, the roads are here for me to drive on. They're just there. Like, wow. Like, oh, look at all these people biking around and stuff, having a good time. Like, this is perfect. Oh, look at the sunset, you know, or it's cloudy and like we get rain and plants get water. Like, there's this, you can think about things differently, and once you learn that you can kind of control where you let your mind go about stuff, you can, like, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to be like this changed person. That might happen, it might not, but you can catch yourself when you're going down that familiar path and like pivot and be like, oh wait, I'm doing that thing again. And like, people might feel like, oh, that's going to be a lot of effort, but like if you do it enough, it becomes your new familiar thing, and like life is just better when you're like focused on that positive stuff. And there really is so much to be grateful for everywhere.
I think it's like the mind is always racing, but you don't have to beat it, right? Like that's the most important thing. It's like we're always kind of constantly thinking about what do I need to do next? What do I need to keep doing to be better and stronger or whatever. But when you're thinking about that, that means you're always considering yourself as less than
the lack mindset.
Exactly. And it gets difficult.
And I guess it's not hard to appreciate the things around you. It's just easy to forget to do that. Like it's not hard. Yeah, it's really not hard to love the things that you see and things that are a part of your life, but it's really easy to forget that they exist because they're just always there. With OCD, I have a very bad OCD, and I get fixated on things, and then you just spiral and think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And then it just perpetuates into a lifestyle, but you can break that habit through therapy, through what you said about shifting your mindset. It just takes effort and time, and you're not alone if you feel that way, because
no, definitely not.
The first step is awareness.
100%. You have to be able to see it. Well, that I think we've kind of gotten to the space that I think the channel itself and the community has kind of found itself, where love is at the center. And you're expressing kind of like loving life, right? So are there some people or some things that you want to send kind of a little bit of love, some positivity out to right now? Some people that come to mind?
Well, I definitely want to give a shout out to all my friends and family who've supported me since day one. Shout out to the high school band, the Pine Tones, that kind of started me with performing live and being confident enough to do that. I worked with the Liberation for a while. They're awesome as well. Bobcat and the Liberation, shout out to them for inspiring me to keep playing live. Stacy Stray for helping me with my first EP. So many people, I guess I could say thank you to.
And that's the beauty of life, I think. Is that
and definitely my mom and dad and my stepdad and everyone who like has been there in my life, and my stepmom too. Like everyone who has supported me and come to my shows and drove all the way to come see me and all this stuff. Like, you guys inspired me to keep going, because you could have just said you suck, but I was too good to say that, so you never had to.
That's awesome.
For me, I'd probably say my family, all my friends, all the musicians who've come before me who I look up to, like bands like Queen, the Beatles, all the work they put in to pursue what they wanted to do, even though it seemed like, you know, the chances are so slim that you'll make it anywhere and stuff. Like, these people just didn't care and just went for what they wanted. And because of that, they've inspired so many people, myself included. And I'm inspired to do the same for at least one other person. I'll be happy if I can do that. So like all the greats who've come before me in the world of music creation and production. Thank you to you for trusting me with your songs and working with me, and to you for doing this and doing that analysis, which was really good. It was so close to what we actually, thought about the song when we made it, which was really cool.
That's a testament to the music that you guys make.
Yeah, and for doing this interview. We've never done an interview before, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
in the studio here.
I want to say thank you to you guys as well, because you guys are actually the first interview. They don't see this, but it took us like pretty much like an hour and a half to 2 hours to set this whole thing up. Yeah, it was quite long. We've had a lot of technical difficulties, but you guys have been champions through all of those, and your music is phenomenal, obviously. But as like music aside, you guys as people are fantastic too, so thank you guys for that as well.
I should add too that like my dad helped me build this whole place we're in right now, the studio.
Oh, that's true. Tell us about the production of this. Well, the people don't know, but you not only produce music, you apparently produce everything, because this whole room is...
I literally built everything, even this desk here,
Amazing.
That stuff's concrete. Speaker soffits and...
Every single thing is literally like you handpicked.
Yeah, all the pieces of wood, all the spaces between the wood and stuff, and so when I was younger, I was like around 19, I think, and I found a recording studio forum online, and I posted some plans I had to make some like rooms to practice in my house, because we just bought this house, and somebody was like just commenting on it, saying that the acoustics weren't going to be good and that he's a designer and he could help me. So I basically 3D modeled my basement, sent that to him. He 3D modeled the studio in there, sent it to me, and then I used that 3D model to kind of build this. And he would give me like the kind of specifications as I did each part. Kind of like the model wasn't completely detailed. It would have generic stuff, and then he would tell me like do like this many centimeters of wood and then this space and like all that stuff. And I was running sound tests in this room and sending him the results so he could see how each thing we were doing was affecting the room. And then there's a room across there, live room with guitar and piano stuff. There's like a room over there.
I forgot about that room.
That's like a little solo room, a drum room over here. So I was just building that, and my dad would come home after work and he would help me, tell him kind of like this is what we're doing, and he would help me with that too. And he was doing that for quite a while. And
there's a sweet spot right where this microphone is.
The triangle.
Yeah, and it's just wild. Like I've recorded a couple places, but I've never been somewhere where it literally hits you in the sweetest spot. Like you can hear everything to like edit what you like. You can hear everything, and you feel everything, and it's just, you can really tell the difference. Like if I'm sitting here, it still sounds good, but when you hit this sweet spot here, like however you designed this room, it's just incredible.
I think I remember like when you were making it, you were talking about it, you would tell me about like the fact that there's like centimeter measurements, like, and then I never, like, until I came in, you can see, like, you can't tell right now, but there's like separations in the panels, and you measured those down to like the millimeter.
I use guitar picks because he'd be like 5 millimeter gap.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh, okay, guitar picks are 1 millimeter.
Yeah, because they're all different distances. I never realized that.
So basically frequencies of that size come through and are absorbed, and the other ones are reflected.
It's so nuts.
Yeah, they're called Helmholtz resonators.
And you're not crazy.
I am.
He's crazy. Yeah. I don't think we'd be friends if we weren't crazy.
Crazy artists are like fun. She's crazy. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
I'm definitely a little bit crazy.
We're all crazy.
Yeah, I think that's why we worked well together. Is just we're all crazy. We're crazy together. It's great. Yeah. I think the funny thing is when people talk about like how much work that you put into all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think like it's so much work, but it speaks so much about you because I know who you are. I'm like, I'm not even surprised because it's Michael.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just makes perfect sense.
So he's building a studio now.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, like, why not?
That makes sense.
I still remember the Halo helmet that you built. Like,
I did make a Master Chief helmet randomly.
That was nuts.
Paper and fiberglass in high school.
Well, is there anything else that you guys would like to add, to ask, to do? I don't know, like what?
I don't know.
This is kind of your moment.
This kind of covers everything I'd like to talk about, I think, and I just. If you've listened to Hiding so far, thank you for doing that. Definitely listen to other songs we work on. We're putting a lot of work into them, and if you heard the little preview thing, hopefully you liked it and you're interested in following along as we kind of flesh out that track and Bones and any other projects we work on. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Thank you so much for listening to Hiding. If you haven't already heard it, you can listen to Hiding by Kirsten Corbett on all streaming platforms. Nav will put the link for you guys. Listen to it. Tell me what you think. Give me your review. And definitely, if you have any, ideas of a song that you want to hear written, give me song ideas. I'll write you a song. We'll work on it together. We're really open to collaboration. And if you guys are like, hey, I like this song. What if you wrote a song about this?
Or you want to join our band?
Or you want to join the band? So much. Yeah, you've opened my eyes to collaboration. I was really scared to work with other people for a long time. And I, dipped my toes in it a few times. But, we really click. And I really appreciate all the help you've done with my music. Thank you to my fiance for dealing with my crazy ass for so long and helping me, save money to do this stuff. It's an honor to be able to spend my spare time doing this. And hopefully one day I can spend all my time doing this.
Yeah, this will be it.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Yeah, well, we hope that your week is better than your day, your month is better than your week, and your year is better than your month. Love you all. And we'll see you, or I will at least, but you'll see them in spirit on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. You guys make like a hat. Oh, if you were hit by a laser right now, and that laser turned you into an animal, what animal do you think that laser would turn you into?
You know what? I want to say cat, but my mind was like chameleon. So I'm going to say chameleon. I don't know why, but it just came to me.
Well, we were talking about chameleons earlier. Yeah,
no, I was thinking of Monsters Inc. The evil guy. I love him. Randall.
Yeah.
I want to be him. Yeah, that one.
That is the strangest inspiration for a chameleon, though. I would have been like the gecko. I don't know. That. Okay, how about you?
It'd be cool to turn into something that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
or that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Some like fictional animal that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really
like
cool.
a dinosaur. A T-Rex just randomly here. Like, how did that get here?
Yeah.
So many questions.
Don't even go here.
Jeez.
Something monstrous and tough and creative. A creative T-Rex.
Yeah.
Writing music.
And then you're the monster, and I'm hiding because I'm changing color
There you
as the
go.
chameleon.
A misunderstood
Oh my
T-Rex.
God.
I just want to
Wow.
write songs and spread music and love, and people think I'm scary.
Yeah, there's lore to this now. Holy smokes, this is crazy.
Maybe we'll write a song about this.
What about you?
Honestly, what I would like it to turn me into is like a hawk or an eagle.
Really cool.
But I feel like I get turned into a goldfish and like die on the spot. I don't know.
Or
Like, it'd just be real bad. Yeah.
How about my cat though, Stella?
Stella's pretty
She's
cute.
Featured
And
in here.
Stella.
Yeah. We saw her earlier.
Yeah.
We can show pictures right now, videos right now, but like, yeah. Magic. But that was super awesome. She's so cute. How old is she now?
She's 1.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's so young.
She's turning 2 on January 18th.
Oh, wow. Coming up.
Mhm.
Well, kind of.
A bit.
Close.
That's the only reason why I came here to work, actually. Was because he got the kitten.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. It was because I enjoyed working with him, but I also enjoyed coming to visit Stella.
Yeah.
Because I got to kind of see her. When I first met her, she was just literally barely fit into my hand.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a picture. Maybe I'll send it to you to
Yeah,
show
yeah,
them,
we'll
but
put
I
it
have
up.
a picture
Yeah.
of her, like, in my hand, and, like, my nails were really long at the time, but it looked like she was, like, I was swallowing her, like, with my hand, because she was so tiny.
Even
Yeah.
now, she's not that big.
No, she's like.
No, she's still pretty
small.
tiny.
Yeah, she's like this big.
Mhm.
Really. Crazy. She's like a Cottonelle commercial, though. Really.
Yeah.
She
Mhm.
could be.
Too much attitude to do the commercial, I think.
She was, she ignored us when I came in.
Yeah.
That was not very nice. Stella.
She
can
knows
appreciate that.
she's all that.
Yeah. She knows the level that she's at.
Confidence.
Yeah, the cat caliber.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying you like theatrical performances, right?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Ren?
Yes.
You know Ren?
Yes. Hi, Ren is, like,
Yes.
the best.
Amazing.
I watched your review of the live version, and I had never seen the live version. That was beautiful. I really like the video version of him in the actual room, but it was hard for me to watch.
It is
the first time I like bawled.
Yeah.
And then now I find inspiration in it.
Yeah.
And beauty in it, and I think he did a really good job of encompassing kind of what I was trying to encompass in this song as well, of like everybody, or maybe not everybody, I don't want to put a hat on everybody, but many people experience traumas that come from mental health issues.
Yeah.
Many people experience those traumas, and there's always kind of like that battle you're having with yourself on how your mental health mindset is and where you really want to be and who you really are, and that constant like battle and fight and just trying to figure it all out. And I think he does a beautiful job of portraying that.
Definitely.
That split mindset.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like stuff like that, and even the song that you guys have made are so important because especially in this day and age, like mental health is so important, and many people, not many, I shouldn't be saying many, but like there's a lot of people that kind of put it on the back burner because they're like, well, you know what, it hasn't been considered important for so long. There's not really people that I should be looking to. There are people that have a stigma against it. Like
one Bell Let's Talk Snapchat filter's not going to change the world, sweetheart. I'm sorry. That one day a year thing. Like, no, it's about talking to each other, being open to it. If someone's having a bad day, tell them, take a break and relax. You don't necessarily need to dig in and solve people's issues. Sometimes it's just listening and reminding people to take a breath.
Yeah,
hopefully this song kind of just helps people see that you're not alone and mental health is everywhere, and you can make it through that forest.
Yeah, exactly. You can escape from
the sandbox.
Yeah, that's right, the sandbox. Yeah, I love that. That's cool. Well, I think that's a great message. That's kind of a great place to kind of finish off on, is you know, find happiness where you can, support the people around you, spread the love, connect, communicate. Great, awesome.
Should we do the heart thing again?
Again, one more time. Yeah. How do we do it with 3 people?
Here, I'll do this.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
Figured it out.
Oh, that's the thumbnail.
Is it?
That's absolutely the thumbnail.